to survive the last exam of my entire life, aka my PhD written quals. How? I credit it to months of studying, Pokemon Go, and the multiple emotional crises. Hi, I'm Thistle, a biology PhD student studying ecology and environmental biology. If I failed this exam, there was a chance I would have to leave my program. My exam was in November, and I started studying in August. Yeah, 4 months of studying for one exam. Years of research and all that studying just to leave? Heck no. For those unfamiliar, the purpose of qualifying exams is to see how much you know about your area of study. You have to read a bunch of papers and textbooks. Some schools have a standard exam for everyone, while others are custom to your research. Mine was a mix of the two, and required over 80 scientific papers and quite a few textbooks. The only way to survive this was organization. Thus, the spreadsheet was born. It had every single paper and textbook required of me, working DOI links, a column with simple equations to auto-calculate how many papers I need to read a day to finish 2 weeks before my exam, based on my actual reading speed. It was quite something. The spreadsheet then birthed the document. It now has a total of 120 pages of notes. For each page or textbook chapter, I did the same note-taking techniques. I'd read, highlight as I went on anything I felt was important, regardless of how much highlighting this resulted in, then take notes specifically on what I highlighted. Essentially, I read each twice, once for general reading comprehension and once for precise, relevant information. My notes followed a set structure. Specifically, the full citation, the main idea of the paper, if the authors were particularly famous or of interest, academic genealogy, general notes, how the paper relates to big biology concepts, how it relates to my research, and any remaining questions I may have had. The simplistic template made it so I could easily compare between papers, synthesizing main ideas. I had so many quiet nights, just me, a paper, some tea, and internal screaming. I study best with noise-canceling headphones in quiet places. Shocking, I know. I like somewhere bright, and ideally where I can feel like I'm in some aesthetic mood board for cozy, soft, dark academia, or something like that, and to have a hot beverage and snack. My main spots were my local library, my campus's library, my own room, and the occasional cafe. Sometimes I studied with friends, but I can be chatty, to say the least. If you have to study, think productivity rather than fun. 2 weeks before the exam, it was review time. I made a new note sheet with summaries of the major themes and more in-depth explanations of concepts I highlighted as not yet understood. I tried to connect the themes and ideas between papers and subject matters. How does general community ecology fit into a mycorrhizal network paper? How can priority effects affect coevolution? Things like that. As a PhD student, I had to do more than just study. I was a teaching assistant in charge of leading an undergrad lab, my own research, my PI's research, keeping up with the new research in my niche field, leading a small academic committee thingy, and that's just my academic life. I still had to make healthy-ish food, maintain friendships, see and help out with family, keep a tidy living space, take care of myself, have hobbies and life outside of academia, because what if I failed? What can I do outside of science if I'm not successful? Stress. Exam prep was emotionally intense. Imposter syndrome is unfortunately a real and frustrating thing that I struggle with. I feel like I'm always around more successful, smarter people. That I don't belong in academia. Even my PI said I looked sad and to please relax. A few months before this, one of my friends got me into Pokemon Go. Yes, in 2025. Guys, I made my account in March. Look at my level right now. Embarrassing. My friend plays while running. Well, I just walked. However, my friend decided to improve my life by telling me to start running so we could do a 5K together and catch more Pokemon. So I started Catch to 5K simply because of peer pressure and Pokemon. I hate running, but man, staying active has helped a little with my exam stress. Studied for a lot of hours and feel like dropping out? Figure that out later. Right now, you gotta go for a run to catch that Zemazenta before you miss it. As much as I hate running, I always felt better afterwards. It created a separation between study time and other time. Hobbies keep you sane. My streaming hobby helped a lot too. I love playing silly games, doing art and study streams, and just yapping. I may be bad at self-promo and may not choose games that have actually big audiences, but man, is it a lot of fun. If you only ever study, you are much more at risk of burning out. This can be really difficult, but please try to set aside a little bit of recovery time if possible. Even just a 10-minute break of sipping tea and reading a non-academic book can feel luxurious on a busy day. Walking into the exam room filled me with so much dread. I wish I had a heart rate tracker. I felt cold and faint, trying to keep my mind on breathing properly. Just me, an internet-free computer, water, energy drinks, snacks, and that's it. Just me, a room, and questions. This was it. Years of college and grad school had all led up to this moment, my final exam for the rest of my life. Many hours later, I was home, standing in front of a microwave, meal heating up. The exam felt like a blur. I was already regretting certain answers, but at the same time, I felt proud of others. I honestly barely remembered coming home. I was a shell of a person. It was over, and I was free. No more weekend studying, no more stressing about impending deadlines. I was ecstatic. Instead of feeling stressed about my results, the next few weeks felt calm. Whether I passed and had to retake my exam or even master out, I didn't care. The worst was over, and I tried my best. And I passed. To anyone who kept me company on study streams, watched a VOD of me playing the Rainworld Watcher DLC, sent a nice message, or just had to listen to my woes, thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate it. Bye, guys!